Hey guys, so I noticed some of you were having some issues with your assessment from last week. So I'm going to just go over a few things. To start, if you look at this question, which is number 5, alternate interior or alternate exterior angles are only supplementary if the lines that the transversal crosses are parallel. So, only true when lines are parallel. For number 6, it says a transversal cuts across two lines at an angle of 90 degrees. That can be possible, but is not always the case. A transversal can cross lines at any degree. And number 7 is going to be true because when you have parallel lines, remember that the two, your 1, 2, 3, 4 are the same as your 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay? So your next, another issue that I saw a lot of was on this page. So for identifying whether lines are parallel, so for these two, the biggest thing that you need to remember is if the lines are parallel and you have these two angles, they will equal to 180 degrees. So if you do 100 plus 80, we know that equals 180. These are parallel. When you do 125 plus 50, you get 175. So this is not parallel. Okay. With M and N being parallel and you need to find angle A, again, think about your angles. Angle A is congruent to what angle would be here, and we know that this angle plus this angle will equal 180. So that means that 118 plus A equals 180. Okay. For here, this angle and this angle are congruent, which means they're equal. So angle A equals 180, or 108, not 80, degrees, because they are the same degree. Here is the same. 3 and 5 will be done the same. So you have 128 plus A equals 180, and you're going to solve for A. These are alternate angles, which means that this angle and this angle are congruent, so angle A equals 95 degrees. Okay, another place I saw that you were having issues with was this set. So in this case, you are assuming that the angles, or that this line and this line are parallel, and here's your transversal. So, given that statement, think about all of our terms, right? So when you're looking at this first question, you have what is the measure of angle 8 if angle 3 is 500 or 5x plus 24. So first find angle 8 and find angle 3. Are they complementary or are they supplementary? In this case, they're going to be supplementary angles. So you know that angle 8 plus angle 3 is going to equal 180 degrees. Nowhere in this question does it tell you what your x equals, so your answer is going to be in terms of x. So now fill in. We have we are looking for what angle 8 is. So this is what we want to know. So in order to get angle 8 by itself, you're going to subtract angle 3 from 180. So you get angle 8 equals 180 minus angle 3. Now you're going to take angle 3 and you're going to supplement it in for this. So you have angle 8 equals 180 minus 5x plus 24. So first things first, you're going to combine your like terms. So combined your like terms would be 180 and 24. 180 minus 24 is going to give you 156 minus 5x. That is as far as we can go without knowing what x equals. Okay, so this is your answer for number 1. Angle 8 equals 156 minus 5x. So your second problem says solve for x if angle 1 is 3, x plus 4, and angle 7 is 43. So we have angle 1 and angle 7. Those are vertical angles. So vertical angles are complementary, meaning they are equal to one another. So 3x plus 4 is going to equal 43 because angle 1 equals angle 7. So solve. Subtract. Subtract 4 from both sides. You get 39. 3x equals 39. 3x, or you're going to divide your 39 and your 3x by 3, which means x equals 13. So you're going to divide both sides by 3 to get x by itself, okay? I am going to erase this just so I could read the words underneath it, but you get the point. So we have 3x equals 39, divide by 3, divide by 3, x equals 13. 4, question 3. It says, solve for x if angle 6 is 10x minus 2 and angle 1 is 120. So here's angle 1, here is angle 6. Those are supplementary angles. So we have, that means that they equal 180 degrees. So you have angle 6 plus angle 1 equals 180. So 10x minus 2 plus 20 equals 180. First, you are going to combine those like terms. So you will end up with 10x minus or plus 18 equals 180. Then you're going to subtract your 18 from both sides to get 10x alone. 180 minus 18 is 162. Then divide both sides by 10. X equals 16.2. So that is what you're solving for x. Solving for x, okay? So now, again, we are going to solve for x. If angle 8, oh, we're going to change my color one more time. Do some purple. So we have solve for x. If angle 8 is 5x minus 6 and angle 4 is 130. So here's our angle 8. Here's our angle 4. Those are opposite angles. So they are going to be equal to each other. You have angle 8 equals angle 4. 5x minus 6 equals 130. So add 6 to both sides. You get 5x equals 136. When you divide each side by 5, you end up with 27.2. So x equals 27.2 because you're dividing both sides by 5. Finally, this page. These questions can be difficult for anyone who has trouble with word problems, kind of figuring out what they want. So it says, Desiree is a civil engineer that has to plan a new connecting cross street in a tricky location. So a cross street is the same as a side street. The road must be diagonal because of issues. So must be diagonal because of issues with the homes and the trees in the area. So there's no place that you could just draw a straight line. She can remove a tree if necessary, but the community will be upset because it will cost $10,000. There's also a school that owns land. If the road gets too close to their area, they may complain and take the city to court. When she makes her decision, she must provide her team with a sketch that includes all created angles so the team can begin planning for crosswalks. Sketch and estimate the angles for 2 possible options and weigh the pros and cons of each decision. So, erase that crazy line because it's bothering me. So step 1, we're going to pick our first possible cross street. It needs to be a diagonal, right? So remember, your cross street has to connect the 2 lines. So here's one. This is cross street number 1. So, pros and cons for cross street 1. Number 1. A pro, don't have to cut down any trees. A con could be that it's pretty close to the school. So, it asks you to estimate the angles. In general, we know that a straight line, so if I was to draw a straight line, that would be 90 degrees, right? From here to here would be 90 degrees. If I connected to my blue line, not my purple line. But we're connecting to the purple line. So we know that this first angle is going to be, this angle right here will be less than 90 degrees. So I'm going to say maybe it's a 70 degree angle because that's my guess. Well, if that's 70, we know that this angle is about 110 because those are supplementary angles, and we know that supplementary angles equal 180 degrees. Those are the only angles we need to solve for, because if that's 110, this is 110. This is 70, this is 70, 70. So we already know. There's our estimate. So now let's do a secondary line. We'll go with pink this time. So my secondary line could be, maybe I wanted to go this way, right? So big con for number 2 and a pro. So your pro would be not near school or close to houses. Con. Have to cut down trees. Another pro could be turns would not be as sharp. So again, we're going to do our angles, right? So here we know straight line would be 90 degrees. We're going to say that this is probably 80 degrees, which would make this 100 degrees. That's all we have to do for this question, okay? If you guys have any other questions, please let me know. Have a great day.